Piglet by Kinga Livowska. Chapter 1. Background. I want you to know what kind of piglet is writing for you. It's a long story, nothing will be missing from it. Madness is included in it too, and so is witchcraft. I tell you how my professional life looked like in the system that is created mainly by the Gypsy. Your very first experience is very important to them. That's why I start my story as early as in kindergarten. It isn't boring. No, it's there in kindergarten that you're being shaped as they please. They shape you into a whore and a thief. But not just a whore, a dirty whore. Later I had a chance to look at the gypsy witches at work. I had a lot of these chances. Year after year, they came to the same jobs I did. They came to introduce and present themselves to me. With time, I learned about them even more. I discovered their parasitic practices, based on their actions and their over-excessive attention towards me, based on stories, anecdotes, and associative thinking. Based on memories, observations, and experience, I finally discovered I was Gypsy. There was, however, a short moment in time when I thought my mom was Jewish and I was half Jewish. I was wrong. Mom comes from a village, Yankova. It's a village placed 3 kilometers from Bobova. It's where Hasidic Jewish people used to live. Not only Mom comes from a place where Jewish people used to live, but all my life we lived in a former Jewish town. We lived in Tarnów. Therefore my mistake, I guess. Sure thing there was more to him than that. There is always more to everything. There was a pig. When I wrote my master thesis, I wrote about a vulgar tongue. I narrowed it down to the word shit and its variants in the translation of world literature. And during that time, I found a lot of anecdotes regarding the word pig. Sometimes even, I felt like changing the topic of my master thesis from shit into pig. Then I would write about the word pig and its use in our culture. During my studies, Miss Kasia Bazarnik wrote us an article about a great number of pigs living in Denmark. She mentioned the male teddy Winnie the Pooh that came in a new translation by a new name. Unfortunately, Winnie's new name wasn't accepted. We love Kubush Buhatek more than Freja Fifi. When Miss Kasia talked about Winnie in my head, I was going over other characters from Winnie the Pooh. You know, tiger, rabbit, donkey, and piglet. It seems to me that even then I already had some feelings for Piglet, and again, little did I realize that Piglet would make up for the title of my book. My niece had already been sleeping with her piggy for a long time. Little did I know that she was a witch too. When asked about Piggy's name, she would say that Piggy is Piggy. My student told me a story about her daughter who wanted to be Peppa Pig, so she answered every question with chrum chrum. In Animal Farm, there is this sad moment when animals look at people and swine through the windows, and it wasn't clear anymore who was who. In one of Starovich's books, I read the contents of a letter written by an angry man who wrote about women in this fashion. For me, personally, a woman is something more than a human being. She's an angel and a pig at the same time. In Zimbardo's book, I read an anecdote about a woman who picked up pigs to the apple tree. Someone passing by asked, "Wouldn't it be better for you to shake the tree and get the apples down?" The man replied, "Yes," and asked, "But would that be better for the pigs?" When living in Holland, I wrote about pigs too. I wrote, I would be calling you at 4 a.m. in the morning so that you would get dementia, you little pig. I think I did some witchcraft too. I was exploring writing then, not knowing that words may have any effect on anyone. I had many more anecdotes about pigs, yet I lost a lot of data due to a hacked phone. Even when working at McDonald's, I finally called someone a pig in my writing, because I had enough of witches. You see, both of my grandparents had something to do with pigs. One of them had about 100 of pigs. The other worked with them in a state-owned farm. And most of my life I knew nothing about it. I knew nothing about my life path and my own identity either. Tony Robbins says that if you don't know who you are, then everyone around you will tell you that. And he's right. And that is precisely what the Gypsy want. They don't want you to know who you are. They don't want you to have an identity. They want to give you one.